Imagine standing in the eye of a storm, chaos swirling all around, the world's noise crashing relentlessly. But you remain utterly unshaken, anchored in a deep, unbreakable peace. This isn't fantasy or wishful thinking. It's a power you can unlock, rooted in the ancient wisdom of Stoicism. In a world obsessed with control and validation, Stoicism offers a radical truth. Real freedom and peace don't come from changing the outside world. They come from mastering the storm within. This video takes you on a transformative journey into that inner sanctuary. You'll discover how emotional detachment isn't cold or distant. It's the gateway to loving without chains, breaking free from the fear of loneliness and the trap of dependence. You'll learn that calm isn't a rare gift reserved for the fortunate. It's a daily choice, woven through small, intentional decisions that build an unshakable serenity no external chaos can penetrate. Solitude, often dreaded, reveals itself here as a crucible for self-discovery and creative power, a space where your true freedom begins. Through compassion, you'll see that embracing others with empathy doesn't just change the world outside, it reshapes your very soul. The silence of your inner world becomes a refuge, a fortress of strength you can retreat to amid life's fiercest storms. We'll confront the battle for your mind, the countless thoughts that don't serve you, born from limiting beliefs and illusions, and learn to tame them, reclaiming control over your mental landscape. Accepting life's impermanence emerges not as resignation, but as a lesson in gratitude and presence, teaching you to cherish the here and now like never before. You'll explore relationships redefined by healthy detachment, where freedom and love coexist, unbound by possession or fear. This is the core revelation. True freedom arises when you stop fighting the uncontrollable outside and start nurturing the unshakable world within. Your true essence. Finally, you'll unlock the profound art of speaking to yourself with kindness and strength, crafting a positive self-image that fuels authentic living. It's about taking the reins of your life, stepping out of the shadows of external approval, and fully embracing the richness of your own company. By the end, you won't just understand peace, you'll embody it, because peace is not a place, not a pause from life's storms. It's the storm itself, transformed by the calm and power inside you. Are you ready to unlock it? If these seeds of ancient wisdom are resonating with the quiet strength you feel stirring within, please take a moment to like this video. And if you know someone navigating their own inner storm, someone who needs an anchor in these turbulent times, consider sharing this channel with them. It might just be the quiet nudge they need to find their own unshakable peace. Now, let's continue our journey into the heart of Stoicism, where we uncover the profound architecture of an unshakable self. We often mistake emotional detachment for coldness, for a lack of caring. But this is a fundamental misunderstanding, a modern distortion of an ancient and powerful concept. True Stoic emotional detachment isn't about suppressing feelings or becoming indifferent to the world. It's about freeing yourself from the tyranny of uncontrolled passions. It's about cultivating a discerning distance from the initial, impulsive waves of emotion so that you can choose your response with reason and virtue, rather than being swept away by them. Imagine a boat caught in a fierce storm. If you cling frantically to every wave, every gust of wind, you'll be tossed and turned, exhausted and terrified. But if you understand the currents, if you trim your sails, if you maintain a steady hand on the rudder, you can navigate the storm with greater stability, even in its fiercest moments. Emotional detachment is that steady hand, that understanding of the currents. It doesn't mean you don't feel the waves. It means you aren't controlled by them. This profound skill is the gateway to loving without chains. Think about it. How many relationships are burdened by fear? Fear of abandonment, fear of not being enough, fear of losing the other person. This fear often manifests as possessiveness, jealousy, or a desperate need for constant validation. But when you practice emotional detachment, you learn to love another person for who they are, not for how they fulfill your needs or prop up your sense of self-worth. You love them not as a possession, but as a fellow human being navigating their own journey. This doesn't diminish love, it purifies it. It allows you to appreciate their presence without being terrified by the thought of their absence. It grants them the freedom to be themselves, and it grants you the freedom from the suffocating anxiety of dependence. You can engage with deep empathy and connection, offering support and understanding, but you maintain your inner equilibrium, regardless of their fluctuating moods or decisions. Their happiness is no longer the sole determinant of yours, nor is their pain a direct assault on your inner peace. You can extend compassion without becoming emotionally entangled to the point of losing yourself. This freedom also breaks the back of the fear of loneliness. Loneliness, in this context, is often a craving for external validation, a belief that you are incomplete without another's presence. But when you cultivate self-sufficiency and emotional detachment, solitude transforms. It ceases to be a void to be filled and becomes instead a sanctuary. You learn that your peace isn't contingent on company, but on your inner state. You are whole, complete, and capable of finding contentment within yourself, which makes your relationships with others richer, less needy, and ultimately more fulfilling. You approach others from a place of abundance, not scarcity. Building on this, the state of calm isn't some rare gift bestowed upon a fortunate few. It's a daily choice, a mosaic woven from countless small, intentional decisions. We live in a world that constantly bombards us with stimuli, demanding our attention, triggering our reactions. The default mode often feels like a state of low-grade anxiety, a constant readiness for the next crisis or distraction. But Stoicism invites us to pause, to breathe, and to consciously choose our inner state, moment by moment. Consider your morning routine. Does it begin with a frantic grab for your phone, immediately immersing you in the anxieties and demands of the world? Or do you consciously choose a few moments of quiet, a brief reflection, a mindful cup of coffee? That small choice sets a tone. When you're stuck in traffic, do you allow frustration to boil over, or do you choose to see it as an opportunity for patience, perhaps to listen to an enriching podcast, or simply observe your breath? When a difficult email lands in your inbox, do you react instantly with anger, or do you pause, choose to reread it calmly, and craft a reasoned response? These are not grand, dramatic gestures. They are the quiet, almost invisible acts of self-mastery that accumulate over time. Each moment presents a fork in the road. One path leads to reactive turmoil, the other to proactive calm. The Stoic chooses the latter, not because they are immune to irritation, but because they understand that their inner peace is too valuable to surrender to external circumstances. They understand that their mental and emotional real estate is precious and must be protected from unsolicited invaders. This daily practice builds resilience. Imagine a wall built brick by brick. Each intentional choice of calm, each decision to pause and reflect rather than react, adds another sturdy brick to your inner fortress of serenity. Over time, this fortress becomes so robust that even major external upheavals, a job loss, a personal crisis, an unexpected setback, can no longer penetrate its core. The storms may rage outside, but within, you maintain a steady, unyielding calm. It's not about avoiding the storms. It's about developing the inner strength to stand firm within them. Often, solitude is dreaded. It's seen as a punishment, a sign of unpopularity, or an uncomfortable confrontation with oneself. But for the Stoic, solitude is a powerful crucible, a vessel for intense transformation, a space where true self-discovery and creative power are forged. It's in the quiet hum of your own company, away from the clamor of external expectations and the relentless chatter of the world, that your true essence begins to emerge. Think of it as stepping off the treadmill of constant engagement. When you're always connected, always performing, always responding, there's little room for introspection. Your identity becomes a reflection of external mirrors. Solitude offers a chance to break free from this. It's in these moments that you can ask profound questions. What are my true values? What genuinely brings me joy? What kind of person do I want to be, independent of what others expect? This isn't about isolating yourself permanently, but about intentionally carving out spaces for deep internal work. It could be a daily walk without headphones, a quiet hour spent journaling, or simply sitting in silence, observing your thoughts. In this space, you become your own best company, your own wisest counselor. You learn to listen to the subtle whispers of your inner voice, which is often drowned out by the noise of modern life. Many great thinkers, artists, and innovators throughout history have championed solitude as essential for creativity. It's in these moments of undistracted reflection that ideas can coalesce, insights can surface, and plans can be laid. Solitude provides the fertile ground for your mind to wander, to connect disparate thoughts, and to formulate original perspectives. It's where you find the courage to be different, to think independently, and to develop your unique contributions to the world, unburdened by the need for immediate external approval. This is where your true freedom begins, the freedom to be authentically yourself, unconstrained by the demands and definitions of others. While introspection and self-mastery are central to Stoicism, the philosophy is far from selfish. Indeed, it calls us to profound compassion, to embrace others with an empathy that doesn't just change the world outside, but fundamentally reshapes your very soul. The Stoics understood that we are all interconnected, parts of a larger cosmic community. Marcus Aurelius spoke of the cosmic city, where all rational beings are citizens, and our duty is to live in harmony and mutual aid. This compassion isn't a fleeting emotion of pity. It's a reasoned understanding of our shared humanity and vulnerability. It's the recognition that every person you encounter is battling their own inner storms, facing their own challenges, just like you. When someone acts aggressively or irrationally, the Stoic asks, what pressures are they under? What ignorance leads them to this behavior? This doesn't excuse harmful actions, but it allows you to approach the situation with understanding rather than immediate anger or condemnation. Embracing others with empathy means actively listening, seeking to understand different perspectives, and extending kindness, even when it's not reciprocated. It means offering help where you can, not out of a desire for praise or reward, but because it is the virtuous thing to do. Aligning with your nature as a rational, social being. When you practice compassion, you don't just alleviate the suffering of others. You cultivate a deeper sense of connection and purpose within yourself. Your soul expands, becoming more capacious and resilient. You realize that true well-being is not an individual pursuit, but a collective one, and that by contributing to the good of others, you inherently enhance your own. This practice grounds us in humility, reminding us that our problems, while significant to us, are part of a much larger human tapestry. It lessens the burden of self-absorption and opens us up to a richer, more meaningful engagement with the world. Amidst the constant barrage of information, noise, and demands that characterize modern life, the silence of your inner world becomes an increasingly vital refuge, a fortress of strength you can retreat to amid life's fiercest storms. This isn't literal silence. It's the quiet space created when you intentionally quiet the mental chatter, the anxieties, the endless what-ifs that often dominate our minds. This inner silence is the fertile ground for reflection, for wisdom, and for finding clarity. It's the space where you can consciously observe your thoughts without being carried away by them, where you can feel your emotions without being consumed by them. Think of it as a control room, deep within yourself, accessible only by you, where you can assess the situation, consult your principles, and make deliberate choices, shielded from the external chaos. How do you build this fortress? Through consistent, albeit brief, practices. Daily meditation, even just 5 or 10 minutes, can train your mind to find this stillness. Mindful breathing exercises, taking a few conscious breaths before reacting to a stressor, helps to create an immediate, albeit temporary pocket of silence. Journaling can also serve this purpose, allowing you to externalize and therefore gain perspective on your internal monologue, transforming a chaotic jumble of thoughts into something more organized and manageable. The beauty of this inner refuge is that it's always accessible. No matter where you are, no matter how intense the external pressures, you can always retreat to this inner sanctum. It provides a constant source of calm, stability, and wisdom. When the world outside feels overwhelming, knowing that you have this unassailable fortress within you empowers you to face any challenge, not with dread, but with a quiet confidence that you possess the inner resources to navigate it. It reminds you that true security isn't found in external circumstances, which are constantly shifting, but in the unwavering strength and clarity of your own mind. The Stoics knew that the greatest battle we face is not against external foes, but within our own minds. The relentless battle for your mind. Our thoughts are not always our friends. They can be born from limiting beliefs instilled in us since childhood, from societal conditioning, from fears and illusions that have no basis in reality. These unexamined thoughts can dictate our emotions, our actions, and ultimately, the quality of our lives. Think of your mind as a garden. If you don't actively tend to it, weeds will inevitably take over. These weeds are the incessant worries, the self-criticism, the judgments of others, the catastrophic predictions, the endless rehashing of past mistakes, the craving for external validation. Many of these thoughts don't serve you. They actively undermine your peace and potential. The Stoic approach to taming these thoughts is rooted in rigorous self-examination and the application of reason. It involves questioning the validity of your thoughts. Is this thought true? Is it based on facts or on assumptions and fears? Is it helpful? Does it move me towards virtue and tranquility, or away from it? Is it within my control? If it's not, why am I spending precious mental energy on it? Epictetus famously taught that it's not events themselves that disturb us, but our interpretation of those events. A missed promotion, for instance, isn't inherently bad. It's our thought that I'm a failure, or I'll never succeed that causes distress. The Stoic learns to separate the event from the judgment. The promotion was not granted an external event. Your value as a human being, your capacity for effort, your character, these remain untouched. Reclaiming control over your mental landscape means becoming a diligent gatekeeper of your thoughts. It means consciously choosing which thoughts to entertain and which to dismiss. It means practicing mindfulness to observe thoughts as they arise, without immediately identifying with them or judging them. It means challenging limiting beliefs that hold you back. This is not about forced positivity, but about aligning your thoughts with reality and with virtue. By doing so, you transform your mind from a chaotic battleground into a well-ordered sanctuary, a powerful tool for living a meaningful life. A central, often challenging aspect of Stoicism is the acceptance of life's impermanence. In a world that often encourages us to chase stability, hoard possessions, and cling to youth, the Stoic reminds us that everything is in flux. Everything is temporary, and ultimately, everything will pass away. This isn't a morbid or depressing thought. It's a profound liberation and a powerful lesson in gratitude and presence. The practice of memento mori, remember that you must die, is not about dwelling on death itself, but about using the awareness of our finite existence to live more fully, more intentionally, and more virtuously now. If this day were your last, how would you spend it? What words would you speak? What values would you embody? This perspective cuts through the trivialities and distractions of everyday life, highlighting what truly matters. It urges us to cherish every moment, every relationship, every experience, precisely because they are fleeting. Consider a beautiful sunset. Its grandeur is partly due to its impermanence. It is a moment in time that will never be exactly replicated. If sunsets lasted forever, would we appreciate them as much? Similarly, our health, our loved ones, our opportunities, they are all temporary loans from life. When we recognize this, we stop taking them for granted. We savor the simple pleasure of a healthy meal, the warmth of a friend's laughter, the quiet joy of a morning walk. This acceptance also fosters amor fati, love of fate. It's not passive resignation, but an active embrace of everything that happens, recognizing that even challenges and setbacks are integral parts of the cosmic whole, opportunities for growth and the exercise of virtue. If something is inevitable, why fight it? Why spend precious energy lamenting what cannot be changed? Instead, the Stoic asks, how can I make the best of this? What lesson can I learn? How can I respond virtuously? By internalizing the reality of impermanence, we become less prone to attachment and loss aversion. We still experience grief, sorrow, and disappointment, for we are human. But these feelings are tempered by a deeper understanding that all things have their season, and to fight against this natural cycle is to fight against reality itself. This acceptance frees us to live more intensely, love more deeply, and appreciate the here and now like never before, making every moment precious. This deep dive into impermanence naturally leads us to a profound redefinition of relationships built on healthy detachment. We've touched upon emotional detachment earlier, and here we see its most beautiful application, where freedom and love coexist unbound by possession or fear. In many modern paradigms, love is often intertwined with a sense of ownership. a desire to merge identities, or a desperate need for the other person to complete us. This creates fragile, often suffocating relationships. Stoic love, informed by detachment, is fundamentally different. It acknowledges the autonomy and individuality of each person. You love another not because they are yours, but because they are a fellow human being, capable of virtue and worthy of respect. You appreciate their presence, their unique qualities, and the joy they bring into your life. But you do not cling to them. You understand that their choices, their path, their very existence are ultimately their own, not yours to control or dictate. This fosters a love that is expansive, not restrictive. It allows for mutual growth and respect. When you are detached in this healthy way, you give your loved ones the space to be fully themselves, to pursue their own interests, to forge their own destiny. You offer support and encouragement, but you recognize that their happiness is not your responsibility to engineer, nor is your happiness dependent on their constant presence or approval. This creates a powerful dynamic where two whole individuals choose to walk together, rather than two halves desperately seeking completion in each other. Practically, this means establishing healthy boundaries, communicating openly and honestly, and respecting each other's independence. It means not taking offense at trivial things, understanding that others are acting from their own internal models of the world, just as you are. It means being fully present when you are with them, giving them your undivided attention, but also being content and fulfilled when you are apart. This non-possessive love is resilient. It is less susceptible to the inevitable ups and downs of life, because its foundation is not built on fragile external circumstances or emotional dependencies, but on a deeper, more reasoned appreciation for the other person. It's a love that truly frees both parties. And this brings us to the core revelation, the culminating insight of our journey. True freedom arises when you stop fighting the uncontrollable outside and start nurturing the unshakable world within, your true essence. For too long, we've been conditioned to believe that freedom is about having limitless external options, about acquiring more, achieving more, controlling more of the outside world. But the Stoics expose this as an illusion. The outside world is inherently unpredictable, uncontrollable, and ultimately indifferent to our desires. To base our freedom and peace on its whims is to condemn ourselves to perpetual anxiety and disappointment. The true revolutionary act is to turn inward, to recognize that while you cannot control external events, the weather, the economy, other people's opinions, illnesses, death, you absolutely can control your inner world, your judgments, your reactions, your attitudes, your character. This is the only domain where you possess absolute sovereignty. This is your true essence, your inner citadel, your unshakable world. Imagine a towering tree. Its leaves, branches, and fruits are exposed to the elements, swaying with every gust of wind, changing with every season. These are the external circumstances of our lives, but its roots, deep and strong, anchor it firmly to the earth, allowing it to withstand the fiercest storms. Your true essence, your reason, your virtue, your integrity, your capacity for courage, justice, temperance, and wisdom. These are your roots. These are the qualities that no external event can take away from you. A job loss, can take your income, but not your work ethic. A betrayal can hurt your heart, but not your capacity for forgiveness or your commitment to integrity. Illness can weaken your body, but not your resolve or your perspective. When you invest your energy in nurturing this inner world, in cultivating your virtues, in mastering your judgments, you become truly free. Free from the dictates of external approval, free from the fear of loss, free from the tyranny of uncontrolled emotions. This isn't a passive surrender. It's an active, conscious choice to focus on what is genuinely within your power, thereby liberating yourself from the futile struggle against the uncontrollable. This internal freedom is the most robust, resilient, and profound form of liberation available to a human being, because it is entirely self-generated and self-sustained. Finally, to fully inhabit this freedom, we must unlock the profound art of speaking to yourself with kindness and strength, crafting a positive self-image that fuels authentic living. We are often our own harshest critics, perpetuating negative narratives about ourselves, fueled by past mistakes or perceived shortcomings. This internal dialogue, if left unchecked, can be more damaging than any external criticism. The Stoic approach here is not one of blind self-flattery, but of rational self-assessment, grounded in virtue. Kindness means acknowledging your humanity, your imperfections, and your struggles, just as you would for a friend. It means offering yourself compassion when you stumble, understanding that growth is a process, not a destination. Strength means holding yourself accountable to your highest ideals, not allowing self-pity to derail your commitment to virtue. It means reminding yourself of your inherent capacity for resilience, wisdom, and courage. Your self-image should not be built on external achievements, which are always transient, nor on the fleeting opinions of others. Instead, it should be anchored in your character, in your unwavering commitment to living a life of virtue. When you know you are striving to be honest, courageous, just, and temperate, you build an unshakable sense of self-worth that is immune to external praise or blame. You don't need applause to confirm your value. Your integrity is its own reward. This practice of positive self-talk and virtue-based self-image fuels authentic living. It allows you to take the reins of your life, making choices aligned with your deepest values, rather than chasing external approval or conforming to societal pressures. You step out of the shadows of external validation and fully embrace the richness of your own company, your own journey, your own unique essence. You become your own most reliable ally, your own most steadfast guide. This is where you find deep contentment and genuine fulfillment, because you are living in harmony with your true self, regardless of what the world outside may throw your way. So, we come full circle. Peace is not a place, a tranquil shore untouched by life's storms. It's not a pause from life's inevitable challenges. It is the storm itself, transformed by the calm, the clarity, and the power you cultivate inside yourself. It's the art of navigating chaos with an unshakable core, of finding stillness in motion, of being fully present and engaged with life, without being consumed by its unpredictable currents. Marcus Aurelius, that philosopher-emperor, reminded us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This isn't an invitation to ignore the world's difficulties, but a profound call to shift your focus. It's about recognizing that the true battle for your serenity, your freedom, and your happiness is fought and won within the borders of your own consciousness. The storm will always rage in some form or another. The question is, will you be its victim, or will you become the eye of its quiet, unyielding center? What part of your inner world will you choose to nurture today? What quiet decision will you make right now to stand firm against tomorrow's inevitable storms? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights might just be the catalyst someone else needs. And if this journey resonated with you, if it offered a moment of clarity or a spark of inspiration, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more explorations into ancient wisdom for modern life. Until next time, keep cultivating your inner fortress.